Hi, this is a short video. I'm going to do a few things. One, I'm going to talk about how to access the grades and the comments I'm returning to you. I'm then going to talk about the plagiarism assignments. And finally, I'm going to talk about some of the D2L tools available to you. So when you get a grade back, you'll get a orange dot up here, and it will announce the grade. And that's one way of getting to the grades. You could click this. The other way is to just go straight to the grades. Either way, it takes you to the grade book. And so you see that there's both the Dropbox and the discussion board assignments. And you'll note that I drop the lowest grade in both of these categories. So you will not be receiving an actual grade that will accumulate until the next assignment. And the idea, of course, is that there's always just a learning curve, and so I drop one of the grades. But what you'll note is that you can't actually, I'm going to put this video here, you can't actually get to any information from the gradebook with regard to the Dropbox. With regard to the discussion forum, you can, and so I just put the rubric grade back to you here, and I put the comment back to you into the rubric grade. So you can, read how you did just based on that, and then the comment will be back over here in the corner. And I try to keep these short. Okay. But yeah, to get to the Dropbox comments, you need to actually go back to the Dropbox. And when you do, you'll note that you'll have a more specific grade and the view link. So you'll need to click on view, and this will take you into the Dropbox interface where you'll have your original assignment, the Turnitin similarity report, and once again, the rubric that I used to grade the assignment. So you can see how well you did on each of the categories. The further to the left, the better. And then once you've looked at the rubric and thought about that, you'll want to click on the similarity report. And this takes you into the comment interface, the Turnitin Feedback Studio. And so here are a couple of things. These little tabs are the way to see the comments. So you need to make sure that that's been clicked. And the red tab is for the similarity layer. And you can actually play with all this stuff. So like if you click this, it would show you where the original information came from. I re-uploaded the assignment to this, so it shows that it was submitted to Newberry. And of course, you can just get rid of that layer so that it's easier to read my comments. And in commenting, I comment on everything from grammar to the ideas of the piece. And it's very important for you to go back and read the comments that I've returned to you, because the idea in this course is that I'm going to be writing comments to you so that you can develop your writing and develop your ideas through the course of the semester. And so, yeah, you want to go through, read all the comments, make sure you understand them. And if you have any questions, you can just email me if you don't understand a comment. And make sure to read through the comments all the way to the end. Typically, the last comment before the works cited page is where I will give you the overall assessment of the paper. But okay, so let's talk about the plagiarism assignment. All right, what you are asked to do is to define these concepts: cheating, non-attribution, and patch writing, as Rebecca Moore Howard defines them. And the main thing I wanted you to notice was that non-attribution, the crucial difference is that with cheating, the student is intending to get away with the plagiarism. So there is no mention of where the source comes from. And so intention is the major difference between cheating and non-attribution. And patch writing, non-attribution is typically a mistake. It could be done purposefully, but I give students the benefit of the doubt. But the idea with non-attribution is that language is taken word for word, and works published, including passages copied exactly from the work of another. So it's word for word copying without putting quotation marks. That's typically the biggest way to think about non-attribution. But it's also the case that you could be taking language word for word and not citing properly at the end. Patch writing is where the words are moved around. And it's like the copy and paste, change a few words type of plagiarism, which apparently was a big thing for some people in high school. But okay, so the examples, the first one is patch writing. I wanted you to notice that the language adult criminals and youth involved just became adults and youth involved. So the writer dropped the word criminals, made adult plural. Notice the sentence structure, adults and youth involved, stays exactly the same. Criminal becomes illegal, activities become activity, and everything else is very similar. So patch writing is basically when the sentence structure is almost exactly the same and the words have just been kind of changed around. So this first one's patch writing, and you'll notice that it goes all the way through to the end. The writer changed just a few words. The second one's a little trickier. The thing I wanted you to notice here is that actually this is borderline patch writing. It is patch writing. So you'll notice that it's not difficult to see tomorrow's sophisticated computers rapidly processing complex data from animals and transmitting it in useful form to humans via an earpiece, handheld device, or spectacle lens display. You'll note that what the student wrote, it's a little tricky to move down, is that the supercomputers of tomorrow will be able to transmit comprehensible information from animals to humans through small devices such as earpieces. And the issue here is that tomorrow carries over, sophisticated becomes supercomputers, transmitting becomes transmit, an earpiece becomes earpieces, from humans to animals becomes from animals to humans is maintained from animals to humans. So the student really did kind of just take too much of the same language and just change it around a little bit. And yet, I say this is borderline plagiarism because there was some attempt here to rewrite the original, but the idea is that you really shouldn't be carrying over these many words. You should really be coming up with your own way of saying something. Okay, so numbers 3 and 4 are a little bit more straightforward. Everything from players of violent video games all the way to criminal acts is lifted verbatim, word for word. So that is a clear case of non-attribution. And in the final example, the same original text, it is important to note that the crucial difference I wanted you to notice is that in student example 3, the student does name the source, does provide a citation, classic non-attribution, I guess. And in the example 4, the student does not name the source, still copies word for word, and does not produce an end citation. So that's cheating. That's the student trying to, it looks like the student's trying to show or suggest that this is his or her writing. Now, this could be patch written, and this could have been moved around a little bit, and no citation, no mention of the author would have still been cheating. So cheating is anytime you take any information or any language from a source and don't show where the source is coming from. Okay. So yeah, that's how to access these comments. Definitely do go read through the comments. I want to end by just going over some of these tools. And as we had noticed, the gradebook, right, there's going to be this weight achieved tool here, which is pretty nifty. It will, right now it's not counting anything because both the grades have been dropped, but it will eventually allow you to see at a glance which grades are impacting your grade positively and negatively throughout. That's where the weight achieved. It's just a really quick way to look at that. All the grades will be coming in here. You'll be able to access the grades through the discussion board. From this, you'll be able to go back to your quizzes, which I guess I'll show you in a second. But yeah, the class progress tool is very useful. This allows you to see at a glance where you are throughout the entire course. So you'll have a list here of the grades that you've received, and it's only going to count grades that count, so the dropped grades aren't going to be there. Haven't really played around with the objectives too much, but it shows which of the pages you visited, for how long you visited. So I get to look at this at a glance and realize, like, oh, I asked you to go read this thing, or I asked you to go look at this video, and you did. Great. Or you didn't. So yeah, there's a little bit of a big brother thing going on here, but it's actually useful. Shows you which discussions you've posted, which grades you received on your Dropbox, and like I said, the quizzes, which are going to be next. And I don't work with a checklist. Okay, so those are the main ones. We've already gone through the Dropbox, and to a large part, I've already talked about discussions. So I'm just going to look at the quizzes. I didn't actually take this quiz, and the quiz is actually posted. But when you do take the quiz, you'll be able to click on submissions, and you'll be able to go back to the quiz, and it'll have your answers and the correct answers here so that you can review everything. Yeah, and then obviously the chat whenever we want to use it to talk. The other useful tool is the class list, another Big Brother element. From my end, it shows when you log in, when you haven't, but this is a good way should you want to contact people in the class. You can just shoot somebody an email. And that's pretty much it for the tools. All right, I'll be returning grades shortly, and looking forward to what you're going to be writing for the next assignment.